So good morning. Today is April 3rd, 2020. I'm Natalie Pace, and yesterday we learned that 6.6 million people in the United States have filed for unemployment. We live in a different world, and I know this has come so fast that many of us are blindsided and perhaps we don't know what to do, but there really are solutions. No matter what challenges you face, there are ways to rethink things, and the truth is, the sooner you do address what's going on and make brave and bold choices to protect and preserve your wealth, to protect and preserve your home, to rethink the way that you spend money, stop making billionaire corporations rich at your own expense, start living a richer life. So I am going to be posting a blog on this at nataliepace.com/blog. I am also going to be hosting a teleconference next Thursday, that is April 9th, at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. If you would like to join me for that special teleconference, all you have to do is email our offices at info@nataliepace.com with the subject line video conference. By the way, if you have already joined our video conference list, you don't need to rejoin it. We already have you there. And then finally, I want to give you a few more resources and then also go through some of the things that I think you need to be really looking at right now. I know that this is all very heartbreaking and we're very concerned about our wealth, our health first and foremost. But we know that there's an economic impact. And once you make sure that you are safe and healthy and that your loved ones are safe, healthy, and provided for, it's a very good idea to then turn your vision towards protecting your wealth and your home and rethinking your budgeting now. So I wrote these strategies when I was a young single mother in the dot-com recession. They transformed my life. All of the personal finance books that I was reading at the time were saying, cut out cafe lattes. Reading at that time, it wasn't avocado toast. It was, cafe lattes. But you get the drill. Yes, you can save hundreds of dollars, as we're all discovering, by not eating out all the time or not having a daily latte, especially with a single-use cup. Come on, I'm so glad that's over with. But that is not going to fix your budget. The problem with budgets is that wages have been stagnant for 3 decades, while the big ticket items have skyrocketed. So housing costs, transportation costs, healthcare costs, health insurance costs, insurance. So for most people, especially millennials and Gen Z, if you graduate from college and get a job, and then you try to get a home, which you can't afford, so you got to move back in with the parents. And then you get your health insurance and you get all the insurance things you need and you get your transportation in order, you might be putting food on a credit card. So clearly it's the big ticket items that we need to rethink. And fortunately, there are solutions. They just require thinking 21st century strategies, not last century strategies. That's just the reality that we are in. It doesn't have to be horrible. It just has to be new. And the sooner that you make brave, bold choices that make sense for you and your family, the richer life you're going to live. If you don't, then look, over the past decade, many Americans have just taken on debt trying to sustain a 20th century lifestyle. And that's unsustainable, and that's going to be a real problem going forward. But if you were one of those people who did that, then learning how to protect yourself and provide for yourself and protect your wealth and protect your home is going to be just as important as how you're going to pay down that debt. And also fixing the budget so you don't take on more debt. So the solutions that I want to share with you, I'm going to do a quick screen share. So hang on one second for me. So I wanted to share with you 2 books. First of all, The ABCs of Money addresses debt, budgeting, protecting your nest egg, what's safe in a world where bonds are losing money, money market funds have redemption gates and liquidity fees, annuities are not FDIC insured, life insurance is not FDIC insured, and all the banks and financial services industries are frankly, getting handouts from the Federal Reserve again. So I'm not sure that I would place my faith and trust in an annuity provider or an insurance company at this moment, especially if the product is not FDIC insured. So again, even if you're in debt, you need to get the debt solutions in the ABCs of money. There's a whole section on that. If you have been taking on debt because your life doesn't add up, there's a budgeting chapter, a whole section on budgeting. If you've lost 29% in your nest egg, there's a whole section on investing in there. And if you have income property or a home and you're worried about being able to make the payments, or that if the value drops that your mortgage, you're going to be underwater on your mortgage, there are solutions and strategies on real estate in the ABCs of money as well. Now, if you have a young child, you still need to read the ABCs of money because you want to start preparing for college for them now. If you are a teen or a tween, you want to read the ABCs of money because you can start preparing, envisioning what your life is going to be like and developing a better strategy now. The college experience has been one that added up to a nightmare for many people after they graduate. So you want to make sure that you are also factoring in what's going to happen after you graduate, how you can get a better degree for half the cost, that sort of thing. And all of this is possible. So read the ABCs of money, whether you're a teen, a tween, or a 5-year-old. And again, these are books that were recently published. So the 3rd edition of the ABCs of Money and the ABCs of Money for college. Again, I'm not saying this to sell the books. I made them as cheap as possible. I think the Kindle editions are under $4. The information that you need is there. I had to live my way into answers in the .com recession, and these answers work. The old ideas of personal finance and investing, 20th century strategies, worked great in the 20th century, but they are not working in the 21st century, and these strategies are. So get them now. All right, another thing that I wanted to share with you is on YouTube. So I am posting a lot of the video blogs, the video conferences, and the interviews on my YouTube channel after we do them. Sometimes they are private if they are part of our club, our ongoing club, and some of them are public, like my most recent interview with Rob McEwen, who is a 30-year veteran in the gold mining industry. He speaks very candidly about where gold prices are heading, which has been up, and why the gold miners are going down and when they will start recovering. He speaks candidly. I ask him hard questions and he speaks candidly about them. And again, he is probably the most respected industry veteran there is. So I do encourage you to subscribe at youtube.com/Natalie Pace 2. And it's pretty easy to see because you'll see the ABCs of Money, the gratitude game, and you'll see my mug there too. All right, so some of the things that you need to be aware of and concerned about and rethinking right now. You want to protect and preserve your wealth, your home, and your family. If you have debt, preservation of your own future, your home, your family, and your wealth, including your nest egg, any retirement accounts, is key. Do not tap your retirement accounts to stay in a home that you really can't afford. I'm not saying that you shouldn't bridge it for a couple months while you figure things out, but that is not a good solution because then you're still on track to lose your home. It's just a matter of when, how many months, maybe years, but not many. And you are sinking your own lifeboat. So the retirement plans are something that no financial predator, including banks or people you owe money to, can tap. They're excluded from anything like that, any liens and that sort of thing. So it's very important that you preserve your money within those structures and also that you protect the money within them, because we've already seen 29% losses in the market. In the .com recession, the NASDAQ lost 78%, and it took 15 years to crawl back to even. In the .com recession, the Dow Jones Industrial Average lost 55%, and it took 7 years to crawl back to even. So I would not, even if I lost 29%, I would not say, oh, well, that's all we can lose, because recent history has shown us that is not the case. And protecting and preserving what you have now, getting a good plan now is really important. Ways that you can do that. Of course, you can read the ABCs of money. There is a section in there on investing. If you want to preserve your wealth now, then get a second opinion. We are offering them. I will outline what you have in an easy to understand pie chart. I will mock up a pie chart of what our strategies are, which earned gains in the last 2 recessions and have outperformed the bull markets in between. So you can get a sample pie chart of what our strategies are based on your A's, personalized for you, and a pie chart of what you currently own, and then line by line outline areas of strength and weakness in your plan. So you have an action plan. You're the boss of your money. I'm not there to tell you what to buy or what to sell. I'm here to educate you on what you own and what a possible solution might be, and also things that you need to be aware of that you might not be reading in the fine print. Also, I am doing emergency online retreats. I've been doing them every weekend. So the next one is not going to be Easter next weekend. It'll be the weekend after. If there is enough demand, we will do one this weekend. If not, it's the weekend after Easter. So keep tuned in for that. But again, the second opinion can be done as quickly as you get us the data and information and sign up for it. I want you to rethink and restructure your budgets, your investments, and also many of us have to rethink our income. Look, for those 6.6 million people who just filed for unemployment, of course they have to rethink their income. But many of us, let's say, for instance, if you were trying to make extra income on Airbnb, or if you have income property, or if you have even a little shopping mall or a building where people paid you rent, you're all going to have to rethink things. So there's an entire section on real estate in the ABCs of money. I spend one day in the retreat talking about safe income producing hard assets that you purchase for a good price. So we do talk about certain things that you should be thinking about in terms of your home and your assets. I think 2 key takeaways right now is A, you want to make sure that your profit margins are sustainable. So in hard times, can you still have an 18% profit margin? Also, you want to make sure that your leverage is sustainable. Did you buy high? The sooner you admit that and try to fix that, the better. The longer you wait, the worse off you'll be. So if you bought within the last year or 2 any form of real estate, chances are you bought that real estate high, which means that you might be over leveraged and vulnerable if real estate prices go down. And it also means that your profit margins are probably not as healthy as they should be, because when you're overpaying on the asset itself, that greatly limits your ability to earn a gain. So again, you have to rethink all of this, and the sooner that you do it, the better. The one couple of things about 21st century: intergenerational housing, affordable housing, micro housing, walkable communities. You don't want to have long commutes. You don't want to have expensive transportation costs. You can, with smarter big ticket choices, literally save thousands of dollars annually in your budget with smarter big ticket choices, whether it's a health savings account instead of making the health insurance company rich, solar panels if you live in a sunny state so that you stop making the utility company rich, telecommute, or moving closer to your work so that you don't have to spend thousands of dollars on gasoline. Maybe you can even ride a bike or walk. That could be a savings of $7,500 annually. That's the cost that most people are paying on their transportation when you add up the financing charge, the insurance of your car, the fueling costs, and the maintenance costs. So there are solutions, but it is going to require a revamp of your life. And it might also include intergenerational planning. Look, when I go and speak to really wealthy people and even royals, they talk about how they do their financial planning for their family a century in advance. So shouldn't you be thinking at least 10 or 20 years in advance? All right. I will be doing another video conference where people will be invited next Thursday at 4:30 Eastern. You must email us and say that you want to attend in order to receive the login instructions. You must have video conference in the subject line. If you want a second opinion, email info@nataliepace.com with second opinion in the subject line. If you want to attend an online retreat, email info@nataliepace.com with online retreat in the subject line. Our team is working very hard to stay up with the demand right now. And if you put the proper subject in, it just helps us to address you and make sure that you're addressed immediately. Thank you. And stay strong and keep your faith alive.